If you've made videos on YouTube and nobody is watching, it's not because your content is terrible, and it's not because you're unlucky either. I did the exact same thing for 20 videos straight and genuinely thought I was improving the whole time. I believed I was getting closer with every upload, but nothing changed. I thought I was getting better at scripting, better at editing, and better at structuring the videos, and I assumed that would eventually lead to results. That's what most advice tells you to do, so it felt logical to follow it. But I slowly realized that logic doesn't apply at the beginning. What I didn't understand is that getting better only matters once your videos are actually being seen. If nobody is clicking, all of that improvement is happening in isolation. And improvement without exposure doesn't lead anywhere. At the beginning, YouTube is not judging your content the way you think it is. It's not analyzing your script, your effort, or how much you've improved. It's waiting for something much simpler before anything else matters. Did someone click your video, or did they scroll past it? That single decision determines whether your video even gets a chance. And if that doesn't happen, nothing else ever starts. Because if nobody clicks, your video doesn't exist in any meaningful way. There's no watch time, no retention, no engagement, and no data. And without data, YouTube has no reason to show your video to anyone else. That's where most people get stuck, and that's exactly where I was. I kept trying to improve the content itself, thinking that was the problem. I made the scripts clearer, the visuals better, and the structure tighter. But none of that mattered, because nobody was choosing the video. And that's the part that's hard to accept, because it feels like effort should count for something. But in this stage, it doesn't. So I changed the question I was asking. Instead of asking how to make a better video, I asked why someone would pick this video over everything else they see. Because that's the real competition. You're not competing against bad videos, and that's where most people misunderstand the game. You're competing against the best option someone sees in that moment. And if your video doesn't stand out instantly, it gets ignored. When I looked back at my videos, the pattern was obvious. The titles were clear, but they were safe, and the thumbnails explained things instead of creating tension. They didn't demand attention. They didn't make someone feel like they needed to click right now. And because of that, they lost every single time, even if the content itself was actually good. So I changed my approach completely. I stopped trying to be informative first, and I focused on being interesting first. Because information without attention is useless. People don't click on good content. They click on problems that feel real to them. They click on things that reflect something they're struggling with or something they recognize immediately. When I looked at my videos through that lens, I realized they didn't present a strong enough problem. They explained things, but they didn't create urgency or tension, and that made them easy to ignore. So now every video I make starts with one simple goal. Can I make someone stop scrolling for just 1 second? Because that is the first battle. If you win that, then the video gets a chance. If you lose that, nothing else matters, no matter how good the rest of the video is. The second battle is retention, keeping them watching. That's where pacing, structure, and clarity start to matter. But you never get to that point if you don't win the first battle. And that's the mistake I made for 20 videos straight. I was trying to win retention without ever earning attention. I was solving the wrong problem. So now everything changes. Every title, every thumbnail, and every idea is built around earning that first click. Not perfectly, but intentionally. And once that starts working, even slightly, everything changes. Because now you're not invisible anymore, and now there's data and feedback. Now you have something you can actually build on. And that's when this stops being random and starts becoming a system. That's the real starting point, Ed. Not growth, not viral videos, and not big numbers. Just one signal that what you're doing is working. Because once you get that signal, you can repeat it. And once you can repeat it, this becomes predictable instead of frustrating.